ibn Ziyad was enraged. He ordered that for the time being Maitham might be taken back to prison. It was in this very prison that Maitham gave Mukhtar Thaqafi the good news of his release and said, "In revenging for the doyen of the martyrs you will kill Ibn Ziyad," and so it was. At last, Maitham was taken to the place where he was to make supreme sacrifice, to the place of his spiritual rise, the place from which he was to soar to the greatest heights of human spirituality. He was hanged beside the house of Amr ibn Huraith from the tree that he already knew. The people gathered round him, and on the gallows, he found a good opportunity to tell them of the virtues of Imam Ali. He spoke and moved the hearts of the people. He made them acquainted with the truth. Ibn Ziyad was informed that Maitham was defaming him, whereupon he ordered him to be gagged so that he might not utter a word further. As Imam Ali had foretold, a spear was thrust into Maitham's body. "Allahu Akbar," he cried. At the end of the third day the blood from his mouth and nose flowed down and colored his beard. May peace of Allah be upon him. 6. Another account of the Maitham at Tamar. It was dawn. As usual, Maitham went to the date palm trunk. He splashed it with water. The good ground sent out a sweet smell. Maitham said 2 rakats. Then he put his back against the date palm trunk. Maitham had visited the date palm for more than 20 years. It had not been a mere dry trunk. It had been a tall date palm before 20 years. Days, months, and years passed. Maitham said 2 rak'ahs near the date palm. Then he addressed it. "Allah has created you for me. And He has created me for you." Maitham liked that date palm. He watered it when it was green. One day, he came to the date palm. He found it a dry trunk. He cut the top of the trunk. That tall date palm became a mere short trunk. Still Maitham went on visiting that dry trunk. What was the relationship between him and that date palm? Amru ibn Huraith was a leader from Kufa. Maitham said to him, "I'll be your neighbor. Treat me kindly." Amru said, "Do you want to buy Ibn Mas'ud's house or Ibn al-Hakim's?" Maitham kept silent. Amru ibn Harith was puzzled. He wondered, what does Maitham mean? Days and years passed. Unjust rulers succeeded each other over Kufa. They treated its people rudely. Ziyad ibn Abi became a ruler over Kufa. He began killing Imam Ali's companions. He carried out Muawiyah orders. Muawiyah was full of spite. He ordered people to abuse Imam Ali. The ruler appointed a man to look after the market. The man was unjust. The people complained of his bad treatment. The people were afraid of the man. Thus, they went to Maitham. They asked Maitham to go with them to the prince. They said to him, "Maitham, come with us to the prince." Maitham went with them. He met the prince and told him about the rude treatment in the market. A policeman in the palace was displeased with Maitham's words. He said to the prince, "Your Highness, the prince, do you know this man?" The prince said, "No, he's a liar, the supporter of a liar." The policeman meant that Maitham was one of Imam Ali's companions. Maitham said, "Surely, I'm truthful. I'm the supporter of a truthful man. Really, he's Amir al-Mu'minin, the commander of the faithful." Habib ibn Mudhahir was a good companion. After our master Muhammad's demise, Habib had a close relationship with Imam Ali. One day, Maitham was riding a horse. Habib ibn Mudhahir was riding a horse, too. They met each other before Bani Asad. They had a short talk. Bani Asad listened to their talk. Habib said with a smile, "I predict that a bald man with a big belly will sell melons at Dar al-Rizq. The man will be killed for the love of his prophet's family." Maitham said, "I know that a red man with 2 plates would appear. The man will support the son of the daughter of his prophet S. The man will be beheaded. His head will be carried through the streets of Kufa." The 2 friends saw each other off. Meanwhile, Bani Asad said, "They are liars." In the meantime, Rashid al-Hari passed by Bani Asad. He asked them about Habib and Maitham. Bani Asad said, "They've just gone away." Then Bani Asad told Rashid about Habib's and Maitham's predictions. Rashid said with smile, "May Allah have mercy on Maitham, he's forgotten to say. The person who brings the head will be given an extra 100 dirhams." Rashid went away while Bani Asad were astonished at his words. Then they said, "Rashid is a liar." 2 days passed by. Then in Muharram, 61 AH, Bani Asad saw Habib's head. It was tied to a long spear. They saw Ibn Ziyad's policemen carrying the head and walking through the streets of Kufa. Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan died. His son Yazid succeeded him. Yazid was a young man aged 30. He drank alcohol. He amused himself with dogs and monkeys. So, Imam Husayn refused to pay Yazid homage. Meanwhile, the Kufans were tired of Muawiyah's persecution. Thus, they sent Imam Husayn many letters. In their letters, they asked the Imam to come to save them from the Umayyad persecution. The spies told Yazid about the situation in Kufa. Yazid had a spiteful Christian doctor called Surgan. He asked the advice of the doctor. Surgan advised him to appoint Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad a ruler over Kufa. Many companions of Imam Ali supported Imam Husayn. Many Muslims supported him, too. Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad arrived in Kufa. He began arresting and imprisoning Imam Husayn's supporters. Maytham, Mukhtar al-Thaqafi, Abdullah ibn al-Harith were in the same prison. Imam Husayn died a martyr for Islam. The prisoners felt pain for him. Mukhtar said to his two friends, "Be ready to meet Allah." After Imam Husayn's killing, Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad will kill the Imam's supporters. Abdullah ibn al-Harith said, "Yes, he will kill us sooner or later." Maytham said, "No, he won't kill you. My dear Imam Ali has told me that you Mukhtar will get revenge of Imam Husayn's killers, and you will kick Ubaydullah's head with your foot." Then Maytham said to Abdullah ibn al-Harith, "You'll rule Basra." Maytham deeply believed in Allah. He was not afraid of the unjust. People were afraid of Ibn Ziyad. They shook with fear when they saw him. But Maytham did not pay attention to him. He knew that Ubaidullah's death was certain. He knew that the unjust would not stay alive forever. Muawiyah and his son Yazid prevented people from loving Imam Ali. The police arrested and killed the Imam's companions. Imam Ali had told his companions about the Umayyad police. One day he said to Maytham, "The Umayyad will order you to disown me. Will you do that?" Maytham said, "No, I won't." Maytham thought that to disown Imam Ali meant to disown Islam. And to disown Islam meant to disown Allah. The Imam said, "Surely, you'll be killed." Maytham said, "I'll be patient. Death is little for Allah." The Imam said, "You'll be with me in paradise." Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad ordered the police to bring Maytham. He said to him, "I've heard that you're a companion of Ali's." Maytham said, "Yes." Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad said to Maytham, "Will you disown him?" Maytham said, "No, I won't." Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad said, "Surely, I'll kill you." Maytham said, "By Allah, Imam Ali has told me that you will kill me. He has told me that you will cut my hands, legs, and tongue." Ibn Ziyad stormily said, "Your Imam is a liar." Maytham jeered at that foolish person Ubaydullah. Ibn Ziyad ordered the police to tie Maytham to the date palm trunk near the house of Amru ibn Harith. Besides, he ordered them to cut off his hands and legs. Maytham was tied to the date palm trunk. Amru ibn Harith saw him. Amru remembered Maytham's words, "I'll be your neighbor. Treat me kindly." So, Amru ibn Harith ordered one of his daughters to sweep the ground around the date palm trunk. He also ordered her to splash it with water. A person looked at Maytham and said, "Disown Ali to save your soul." Maytham said with a smile, "By Allah, this date palm has been created for me. And I've been created for it." Thus, people knew the secret of Maytham's visit to the date palm throughout the long years. Maytham addressed the people, "People, if you want to hear some information about Ali ibn Abi Talib, then come to me." The people crowded around Maytham. He began teaching them various kinds of knowledge. The spies told Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad about Maytham's words. Ibn Ziyad ordered a policeman to cut off Maytham's tongue. Maytham said, "Amir al-Mu'minin has told me about that." The policeman cut off his Maytham's tongue. Another policeman stabbed him with a sword. Thus, this warrior's life was put out like a candle. Maytham did a lot of good for people. The people loved him very much. They wanted to take Maytham's body to bury it, but the police strictly prevented them from approaching it. One night, 7 dates after Ali's martyrdom, he was among the ones stimulating the nation to swear allegiance to Hassan ibn Ali. In the process of compromising,